We are into our No New Clothes challenge to change our paradigm with fashion, to change our relationship with fashion and turn things around environmentally and socially. So would love to talk a little bit about that. Slow fashion season. I literally retweet everything you tweet and share so much of what you share. It's so good to see you here. All right, guys, so I think we will, oh, thank you, bracelets, yeah. Half a dozen, I've got more than half a dozen bracelets on. It was one of those days I was feeling the need. So guys, I'm just gonna jump in. I'm Laura Madden. Welcome to ReFashionTALK Live. This is an Instagram live series I started as a result of the stay-at-home order a couple months ago now. I do this every Monday and Friday. Normally I'm here at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but because I do an art demo in my art studio, sans AC, right after this, I'm going earlier. So I think I'm gonna be at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with the ReFashionTALK lives for the foreseeable future. We'll see. It's only getting hotter here in Arizona. So yeah, so ReFashionTALK Live, this is where I mainly started this to talk about reinventing our relationship with fashion and how we can use fashion for good and how we can use fashion to do good in the planet, to make ourselves feel good. And it's, you know, in light of the current events, it's morphed into more about talking about refashion all of our world and our society and things that affect me and my circle of friends and peers. And of course, with everything going on with racial inequality and race relations in our country, of course, that plays a huge role in this. And I've been doing so much, I guess, taking so much introspective time for myself to think about this and really get clear on where I stand with this. And unequivocally, I've always been very serious about racial equality, and I stand up for racial equality. And I've been very open about that. Hey, Ludi. So that's something that I want to share, partly because I want it to be known where I stand with racial equality and where I stand with race relations. Also, the second part of that is as an influencer on social media, I do hope to have some influence over how people feel about this. And I do hope to influence just the greater good and collective, to get more people on board and to get more people in understanding of how important this is and how we all must, as human beings, we must stand up for racial equality. Because you just, when I look at what's happened and how certain people in our culture treat certain people of color because they are of color, that's inhumane. And at the end of the day, that's how I feel about it. Bottom line, it's not human. And so that's where I stand, and that's why I'm sharing. And if you join me on Friday night, Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do a happy hour art tour. This last Friday was a little different. Oh, hey, how are you, Petite Art Studio? Thanks for joining us. It was a little different. I did a mini art auction. This is my first time doing an art auction of any sort, but I am auctioning off art to raise money for racial equality funds in foundations. Whatever money I take in from these paintings, I will match 100% the proceeds, and I will donate all of that to a racial equality fund or organization of your choice. Last week, I did have one painting sell that I was auctioning off. Thank you to the PLM agency here in Phoenix. They purchased that painting, and that money went to Black Girls Code, which is a nonprofit foundation in, or organization rather, in Oakland, California, teaching Black girls how to code. And I think upping education is for our minority populations is going to help. I do think it's going to open the opportunities and somehow level the playing field to give them at least more equal opportunities if we're giving them that education and those skills to compete at a higher level in our society. Job-wise, hey guys, thanks so much for joining. So I'd love to hear how you guys are feeling about this. I haven't really looked too much at the comments here, but please feel free to, share in the comments. Please feel free to use that question mark button at the bottom of the screen. I'm not going to talk too long today, but I do feel a need and an urgency to just make mention to what's happening with race. I'm not an expert. I'm really not. I'm learning as much as I can. I'll admit my naivete about this whole situation. With the events of the murder in Minneapolis of George Floyd, I realized how naive and in the dark I was about how the extent of racial inequality in our country and the discrimination. I knew it existed, but not to the extent. And I also have Black friends that, I care deeply about. And the thought that somebody may have questioned them, their integrity, their character, who they are, their talent, their skills because of the color of their skin is so disgusting to me. And it's not something that I can really fathom. But something I want to share that I'm going to be sharing, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, I'm going to be sharing some more of my stories. So I've organized a number of photo shoots over the last couple years, and one that I organized last fall, it was actually from the last No New Clothes challenge that I had put together. It was Nothing New November, and I put together a group of women who also care a lot about sustainable fashion and secondhand fashion. And when I look at those pictures, that photo shoot had nothing to do with race. It was about fashion. And it was about raising awareness about fashion, sustainable fashion, and secondhand fashion, raising the value of secondhand fashion. But when I look at those photos, it's a very diverse group. There are 3 Caucasian women, there are 2 African-American women. And the pictures are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Everyone picked out their own looks. And hey, Amanda, how are you? And so I'm going to be sharing more of those photos because I think it's interesting when you look at how diverse our group was, but I didn't choose those women because I wanted to have a diverse photo. I chose those women based on character. And that's something that's really important to me, especially in light of this. I'm realizing I have a very diverse circle, and I've chosen the people in my life, my friends, my peers, based on character, not color. And it's such an important tenet for me that I live by. And when I look at that photo shoot, those women were chosen based on character, not color. Also, I mean, at the same time, I guess I'll be transparent. Also, their looks, they were chosen on their looks because they are absolutely drop-dead gorgeous women. And they are extraordinarily fashionable, and they use secondhand fashion, sustainable fashion, but they're fabulous. If you saw any of them on this street, you would most definitely stop and stare. So I did partly choose them based on their looks, but it had nothing to do with race or religion or ethnic backgrounds. But interestingly, we are a very diverse group, and so I'll be sharing more of those photos from that photo shoot. And yeah, I'm proud of that photo shoot. I really am. And I'm still good friends with all of those women today. And I don't think any of them are actually, hey guys, I don't think any of them are actually on here today. But I just wanted to mention that because, I don't know, I guess in spending this time in introspection for me this last few weeks, I realized that is what it came down to. Every photo shoot I've organized, every show, I've chosen the woman based on character, not color. And interestingly, most of them have turned out very diverse. So also piggybacking on that, what actually brought us together was fashion. We were all brought together by fashion. And this brings me to another realization that in so many cases with my friends of color and different religious backgrounds and races, we have been brought together by fashion. And I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you that fashion is going to save the world and fashion is going to transform the race relations in our country. No, not at all. But in my case, that has been my experience. Fashion has brought so many of us together. And it's just so interesting. Fashion is a great connector, just like art and, you know, anything beauty. It is a great connector, and that's my experience, and that's all I know, so that's what I'll continue to share. But we were brought together by fashion, and it's like we are just so much more alike than we are different. And, you know, we're fashion lovers, we're sustainable fashion lovers. We dubbed ourselves the secondhand, air quotes, secondhand shopping society, because we do feel like a society, because we all have really high standards for our fashion and our appearance. But yeah, we were brought together by fashion. Black women, Asian women, Muslim women, Caucasian women. So it's just been a very interesting road. But yeah, I'll be sharing more of those photos. Also, this brings me, if anybody would like to comment on that, hey guys, if anyone here would like to comment on that, I would love to hear your thoughts. If you have a question about that, a concern, please share, or you can always DM me later. I know most people don't like to share things right here and out in the open, and that's fine, but please, I would love to have this conversation. I think the more that we have this conversation, I do feel like it's a step. So guys, the No New Clothes Challenge, the other thing I wanted to talk about, last Monday we started No New Clothes Challenge. And that's in partnership with Remake. Remake, they are hosting this challenge, essentially. I want to know if anyone here is taking part in the No New Clothes Challenge. This is a 90-day challenge. It started June 1st. It will end September 1st. Is that right? June, July, August, yeah. And so this is at your discretion, but I do want to encourage as many of you as possible to join. And the purpose of this is to, one, slow down our drain on the environment, slow down our impact and our environmental impact in terms of the fashion we consume, but also to reinvent our relationship to fashion. When we, when we rely on secondhand fashion, a lot of times it prompts us to be more resourceful. It prompts us to be more creative. And I think those are really beautiful things. Amanda, you're in. I know you are. So guys, Amanda Jacobs is on here. She's a sustainable fashion designer. She's also a fashion educator, and she's here. You can check her out. If you scroll through the comments, you can find her handle, ajacobs730. Also, you can find her at Classic Reclaim. So she's one of the resources here. She's one of the opportunities if you want to shop, if you want to take part in the No New Clothes Challenge, but you still want to shop. We're shopping secondhand. And for me, this is nothing new. But every time I do one of these challenges, it does raise my level of awareness with how powerful this is and how positive of an impact we can all have in the environment. And I hope it will expand other people's minds and open, their consciousness and awareness about how much we can do with not just so little, but how much we can do with secondhand, with just changing our mindset around it. What is beautiful? What is valuable? What is useful? It doesn't have to be the latest, greatest thing, off the shelves or off the runway, or we're not really doing runways now, but it doesn't have to be a brand new item. It can be something secondhand. And I always say, look for beauty where it's not normally found. So Amanda Jacobs on here, she is doing, her brand is Classic Reclaim, and she does upcycled design. So she is using secondhand clothing she's upcycling, giving it a facelift, remaking it, transforming it into something brand new. So she is someone I highly recommend. If you want to shop, please check her out. Some other options are here in Scottsdale and Phoenix, we have TBC Consignment. We have My Sister's Closet. Also, we have Designer Treasure Hunt. We have Vintage by Design. Vintage by Design AC is their Instagram handle. And this Saturday, Vintage by Design and Designer Treasure Hunt did a really awesome pop-up. They were at Melt by Melissa, which is a really cool spot down in Old Town Scottsdale. And they just did an awesome pop-up. I bought some things. Just some amazing pieces, man. And I just can't stress enough, the stuff you find, the treasures you find when you shop secondhand, it's like everything is one of a kind. It's like everything is unique and special, and it's almost like it's done for you, because essentially there's only one of them. There's only one. And so anyway, went to a great pop-up, bought some amazing things. I'm not wearing any of them today, but so Vintage by Design AZ, Designer Treasure Hunt. These are also opportunities to shop secondhand. And then we have Ebony Whitaker. She's also here in Phoenix, but she sells vintage, time capsule vintage. I'll share everybody's handle in the notes after. And so let me see here. I'm just looking at some comments. Who else do we have here? Any other resellers? I don't think so. Some other options, guys. The Real, they are, you know, they're online, so you can shop them anywhere. Vestiare. Also, borrow from your friends, swap with your friends, loan clothes out to your friends. That's another great way to wear something new to you, but still taking part of the challenge. And again, this is such a powerful movement, shopping secondhand, shopping pre-owned, because it is slowing down the demand on the fashion industry to produce faster and cheaper clothing, and it is having a very positive environmental impact. So we're slowing down the environmental impact, but you know, we're still able to purchase fabulous things. So it's like you can have your cake and eat it too. And that's something that I came to when I first discovered secondhand shopping, which was just about 5 years ago now. I had no clue what I was missing before that, but yeah, you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have your fabulous fashions. You can still have your style. You can still live up to your standard of fashion and style and living that fashionable lifestyle, but still doing good for the environment. So I highly recommend you guys check out Remake. If you want to find more resources about that, read more about the impact of doing that. It's at Remake Our World here on Instagram. And there are so many great finds. I know, Amanda, seriously, and you are one of them. So guys, I put on one of Amanda's dresses yesterday that, Amanda, do you mind? I'm going to share the photos of your dress later today. Do you mind if I share the before of that? So Amanda's been sharing some photos of some of the befores of the items that she's found secondhand and then has transformed into something like fabulous, modern, and ultra stylish and new. Do you mind if I share that before? If you're still on there. Okay, so I'll share the before photo and then I'll share the dress, how I styled it. And to be honest, guys, in hindsight, this is one of those dresses, I don't usually choose patterns because they're not as easy to restyle and, redesign with accessories, but this is one of those things. It is like kind of like a paisley-ish pattern. It looks very Ralph Lauren, but this is one of those things that you can like restyle, rewear a million different ways. And I should put it back on and just restyle it with different belts and accessories, because it is one of those things. You really can refashion it, restyle it. And that's one of the things that I think is so sustainable, whether you're shopping secondhand or not, whether you're shopping sustainable brands or not. Buy things that are very easy to restyle and refashion, those multitaskers, the things you can mix and match, just switching out the belts, the accessories, a hat, shoes, a top piece, a jacket. Those are the things that I think are going to help maximize your wardrobe, help extend the life of your wardrobe. So definitely buy things that are easily mix and matchable. But yeah, so that's all I want to say. Just a reminder, guys, I want to encourage you all to take part in the 90-day No New Clothes challenge. Do it to your discretion, if you will. I don't buy undergarments secondhand. I don't buy socks secondhand. So that's like at my discretion. That's my comfort level. So your comfort level might be different. Maybe you don't buy jeans secondhand. I don't know. I will only buy jeans secondhand, by the way, because it's like 2,700 liters or some ridiculous number of liters of water that is used to make one pair of jeans. I don't have the actual statistic right in front of me, but things like jeans, t-shirts is right up there as well. I think t-shirts might be 2,100 gallons of water. It's around there. The number is around there. About 2,100 gallons of water. Again, if anyone knows the exact number, please put it in there. But it's that large. It's that gross of an amount of water used to make one brand new t-shirt. Same with jeans. So for that reason, I will only buy secondhand jeans and t-shirts because I just can't stomach wasting that amount of water. And so by shopping secondhand, you are saving that amount of resources, which is pretty darn awesome. So guys, that's all I'm going to say about that. I just want to encourage you, even if you take part in the challenge, 50%, 20%, 75%, to whatever extent you can, it's just going to open your awareness about the importance of shopping secondhand and that circularity, the resale market. So much of that is the future of fashion. It is. And there are designers like Amanda on here who are doing it, creating new things out of old. It's so big. It's so big. And I think we will continue. Hey, Chris, I think we will continue to see this in coming years as more designers like Amanda come on the scene. So Amanda, you're leading the way. You need to start like maybe a course or like a little school. I know you're an educator, but maybe your own little school of teaching designers and even people at home how to upcycle. And, you know, just sometimes it's like training your eye to find the pieces that are, you know, and like when you see a piece, it's like, what can I do with this piece? You know, that's where I think training the eye can be so important. It's like seeing a piece. I love that fabric. I love that pattern, the color, but what can I transform that into based on what I have? So that's that. And guys, so I'll close with this. Next up, I do my art demos on my art page, which is at ReFashioned Art. I'm also an upcycle artist. And so I'll be doing an art demo, just about a half hour. Might start a little bit early just because of the heat and not having AC in my studio, but art demo live after this on my art page at ReFashioned Art. Also, the art auction I did on Friday, that's actually on here. You can find that in my feed if you'd like to watch that video. The video is also saved on my YouTube. But some of those pieces are still available, guys. Again, I'm raising money for racial equality funds and foundations of the buyer's choice. I will match 100% and donate all of those proceeds to a foundation or a fund of the buyer's choice. So guys, some of those paintings are still available. I'm gonna be posting more of those in my stories on my art page today, but I hope you'll jump on board. If you do need some artwork, please reach out to me. But again, some of those pieces are still available. And if you're interested, just send me a DM or check out my art page. All right, guys, so that's it for today. If you like my style, if you connect with my message, check out my website. I am lauramadden.com. Check out my art page at ReFashioned Art. And until Friday, I'll be back. Let's do 10 a.m. I'll be here at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday with my next ReFashionTALK Live. And that's it for today, guys. Be well. I hope you stay safe and be kind. Bye-bye.